Hey guys, Joe here, back to the Word. In this video, I'm going to be doing a book review of this work right here, Letter to the American Church by Eric Metaxas. I recently finished this read and wanted to share it briefly with you guys and some of my thoughts about it. I'm going to do a longer video overviewing its contents chapter by chapter, so I'll link that in the description for those who want to check that out once it drops. But in this video, just wanted to give you the brief overview, what this book is all about, and why you might consider picking it up and reading it. So, my channel here is Back to the Word. This channel exists to equip and encourage you to read the Bible, good books, and have conversations that truly matter. If you're down for that sort of content, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos like this one. So, let's hop into the review segment. Who is this book for specifically? Letter to the American Church. So it's really for any concerned Christian who is concerned about America, the direction of the American church and Christianity in America and in the West, in any certain way. And really, it's for Christians who want to consider at least one perspective on what is wrong. This book is not the only book out there on what is wrong with the church, how to fix it, what's wrong with Christianity in America, but it is, in my opinion, one perspective on it, and one that I wanted to pick up personally. Eric Metaxas has written a much longer biography on Bonhoeffer, and Bonhoeffer spoke to the German church in a day when they did not listen, and some of those same things are happening in the church today, according to Metaxas. And this book is really, if Bonhoeffer was writing a letter to the American church, what would that letter say? And so it really is a perspective on what needs to be done in our country. And it's really a book for those who are interested in what Bonhoeffer might say and the German examples of what was going on in Germany that we are seeing in our country today, and how we might share those concerns and what some solutions might be. So, who wrote it? This book was written by Eric Metaxas. He does his books have been translated into 25 languages. He's the host of a nationally syndicated radio show. Many things about him. Just a little bit on religious affiliation. He was raised in the Greek Orthodox Church and has not formally left that denomination, and still has great respect for that denomination, but he has kind of moved into kind of a non-denominational. He's been involved with some Episcopal church type things. But really calls himself a mere Christian after the terminology of C.S. Lewis. So, third segment of this review, what stands out from this book specifically? So first, Metaxas is a great writer. That's one of the reasons I picked up and wanted to read this book. Not only are we in a political cycle year in America right now as I'm filming this video, and this speaks to some of those things that are contemporary and right in the face of the American church. But I was curious, from someone who spent tons of time studying Bonhoeffer, what are some of the parallels between the German church that let rise Nazism, Hitler, the Third Reich, and some of the things that went wrong there, and the parallels that we're seeing in the American church today. And so what would Bonhoeffer write to us? And so I was really interested in the historical things, but Metaxas is an amazing writer, and I really enjoyed this volume for that. This is also a shorter volume. It's only 150-ish pages in 16 easy-to-digest chapters. So this is a book where you feel like you're moving along pretty quick, the writing is good, and you don't really get bogged down. And I really enjoyed that aspect of this book. I already mentioned it, but the historical parallels between the 1930s German church and the American church today are quite stark and really eye-opening. And so regardless of how you feel about the applications of seeing those parallels, seeing them is quite an eye-opening experience and really worth time reading the book, in my opinion. Allowing Bonhoeffer to speak to us today is a great aspect of this book. And then lastly, while you may differ, I already hinted at this, with points of application or push against the claims of how bad things are, as Metaxas talks about the church today in America. You will be awakened to lots in our country by reading this book. Lots of topics, lots of things you should be concerned about. And this book, even if you disagree, you can't read and remain asleep. So I don't care who you are. If you read this book, it will awaken you. And I pray that you would take action and you would seek the Lord on what God would have you do after reading some of the things in this book. So time right there for the review section is over. I'm going to give more of my thoughts really on a longer video when I walk through the chapter contents of this book. So I'm going to do a longer video, walk through kind of some summaries of each chapter, the main content, also talk about the historic events that Bonhoeffer was going through that Metaxas talks about in the book, and just tease out some of those things in that longer video. So I'll link that below in the description as soon as that comes out, and there'll be a card right here in the video once that comes out as well. Metaxas, actually, this book was written in 2022, has already released in early 2024 the sequel, so Religionless Christianity. And so I'm currently reading through this, and we'll do a review on my channel of this book really soon. So if you loved this one, which they've actually done a documentary, some people put together a documentary presenting some of its contents, and this is the sequel to this book right there. And then also, if you want to know more about Bonhoeffer, amazing biography by Eric Metaxas is Bonhoeffer, Pastor, Martyr, Prophet, and Spy. And so this is my hardback edition. Totally worth picking up if you want to know more about him, his pastorate, and Germany, and some of the things going on in the German church at the time. So with that, until next time, continue to read, treasure, follow the word. God bless. And I'll see you guys soon.